Well, hello and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. My name's Zach Ciota. I am the host here, and we have an active chat today, and we have a new member, man. All right, a new member. Way to make my life easier, man. FCJ, welcome to HST member Nordine level. One day you'll be Goodman level, and then one day you'll be Train level, and everything will be wonderful. We're talking about hibachi food in the chat. I love hibachi. Hibachi's great. Then the guy comes out there with the knives and the spatula and makes the onion volcano. And my son's like, whoa. And we're all like, ooh, even though we've seen it like 100,000 times, we're like, whoa. And then he makes all the stuff and everything goes clinkety clank. He catches a thing with his hat and he flings food at people and they catch it with their mouths. It was great. We're so close one time. We went to a hibachi restaurant in Wilmington. And the guys like go long, and my nephew goes like away from the table, like 10 foot. He almost caught that thing with his mouth. It was impressive. Yeah, I like hibachi too, but I had some nice turkey bacon sandwiches for dinner, so now I want hibachi. And nothing will neutralize whatever's gained by a turkey bacon sandwich more than a gallon of rice. You can only measure it in gallons because the rice they give you, there's so much rice. And I get double rice. Oh my gosh, man, this is nice. I love it. I love it. Well, FCJ, also known as Fred, what's up? Let's see who we have here. We have Jerry, Go Tar Heels. That's right. Jerry, Go Tar Heels. That's exactly right. Nathaniel Crum. We have Jerry Lockhart, Cannon Casey, FCJ, Everything HVACR, Real Street HVAC, Greg Meadows. Let's see. Dustin Hendricks. Let me scroll up, see if I missed anybody. I don't think so. I think we had some repeating. We had some conversation going. Okay. All right, guys. So a lot of the guys are from New Bern in the chat, evidently. New Bern is about an hour and a half from me or so. And I do go to New Bern quite a bit because the dog I have originally came from New Bern. And we have this dog. But she goes to New Bern periodically for breeding purposes because she's like a full-blooded poodle. And we go over there near, I forget what it is. I can't even tell you what part of town it is because I don't go to New Bern enough. But New Bern's not that big, so it doesn't have that many parts to it as a town. So I do go to New Bern at least twice a year, 3 times a year. Dustin Hendricks is from Ohio. HVAC with Greg, he's back. Mel 904, good evening. What's happening? It doesn't matter what a Tar Heel is. It's a dominating basketball team that sometimes beats Duke. That's the definition of it. Mitch Wigington says, hey, y'all, what's up? Trey U, North Carolina. Hey, we got a lot of North Carolina boys here. Evidently, the internet signal that I send out only goes so far and only reaches people that are in North Carolina. I think I understand the internet pretty well. That's how it works. Absolutely. So, what do we do at the beginning of the show? What do I need to tell you guys? Yeah, we're on Instagram. Okay. If you're on Instagram, you can find me. If you're on TikTok, you can find me. If you're not on TikTok, that's probably better for your life. But if you are on there, you can find me. Let's see. Where else? Facebook, of course. This is a podcast. A podcast is actually the main thing is what it is. YouTube is, I don't know. YouTube's pretty big too. So it's about the same. Podcast and YouTube. If you're riding in your van, you need something to listen to, you didn't catch the show, hey man, listen to the podcast. Man. We got some Florida here in the house. Florida, East Alabama, North Carolina, all over the country here. Nobody West Coast yet because it's 6 o'clock. I tried to do it late enough so West Coast guys could theoretically join, but I don't know if a whole lot of West Coast guys joined. If you are from a different part of the country, feel free to put it in the chat. Hey, Real Street HVAC's on TikTok. Hey, man. Great. Greg Meadows is Eastern Kentucky. I will say this. So Nate, who's in the chat, sent me a message earlier. So it's like, did you happen to send that TrueTech thing yet? And I didn't. I forgot all about it. He won a gift card like a week ago. So I went and sent it. And Nate, I want you to know that I did it. And I probably sent it to the wrong email address. So I just want you to know that. But I did remember to do it. And I sent it to my email address from Town and Country Air because it's still on file at True Tech Tools. So, but they'll fix that, I'm sure. It's probably fixed by the time we get up in the morning. But hey, all right. And I did, as I customarily do, I'm going to change a little bit how the STU works because I realized something. As I was sending out the gift card, and way before that actually, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I can't give these guys the kind of prize that they deserve in these games. And as I say this, Nightbot is putting some links in the chat right now. So all the things that I've been talking about, there you go. Email list is like the live notifications. So if you want to be notified when we're going live, I'll send you an email. Become a member to support the show, or Instagram just to see some of the stuff we put out. TikTok as well. You can just search HVAC Shop Talk to find any of these things anywhere. Even Twitter. We're on Twitter. I tweet. So, okay. All right. Back to what I was talking about. I lost the focus because the links came back up and I wanted to tie it back in together. So I was thinking to myself, I said, I can't give you guys the kind of prizes you deserve because I'm just a poor guy struggling to send his kids to college and whatever sad stuff I could say, sad stuff, heartstrings being pulled everywhere. It's beside the point. So I've decided to actually rethink my idea about, enlisting the help of others as far as people that want to send products in. I didn't want to do that, but now I can't. I don't think I'm going to be able to give you the type of thing that we all deserve to do. So I'm re-examining that idea. So Cannon's asking, do I watch TikTok? I do watch TikToks every now and then. There's some real garbage on there, but there's HVAC guys too. So there's both. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get into this and I have a little something we can talk about. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the way the little games work that we play. I've added a new game because I think they're fun as crap. And so I added one. So we have Skilled Trade Up, which is going on forever. Skilled Trade Up. And I'm going to add a new one tonight. It's just a once in a while sort of thing. We've done it before. It's been a while. But it's called Name That YouTuber. And it's the same way the Skilled Trade Up works. You'll come on the screen with me and you'll try to name that YouTuber. And it's fun. See, when I say crap, it actually is a positive thing. It's like, get your crap and go. It's that sort of thing. It's like objects, materials, not feces. It's different. It's a different thing. So here's what I'm going to do with these games. So I'm going to enlist the help of some various companies, and we're going to pool our resources, my resources that are small and their resources that are large. And we're going to do like a monthly thing that builds up. Okay, so here's how it's going to work. And I'm going to try to explain this, and it might get some, it might take a minute because it's kind of revamping how things are done here. When we play the Skilled Trade Up, typically you play and you win something. Well, instead of winning something during Skilled Trade Up, you're going to win like chances. You're basically winning chances to win a huge prize that's going to snowball throughout the month. And I'm going to show you, I've already picked out some stuff for it, and we're just going to add to it. So it could be pretty substantial by the time it's all said and done. So, and the higher you go on Skilled Trade Up, the more times you could possibly win this prize. So basically, it's almost like, let's say, a raffle, where if you enter it, it's 1. But if you play Skilled Trade Up and you win Skilled Trade Up, you get like 20. So you have a much greater chance of winning this huge prize. And that's how the games are going to work. So I think that, I think Y-Jacks would be cool too. We'll see. Hey, we'll see what people do. I try to reach out to people. So it's like, is there anything you want to send in for our game? This is what it's going to be like. It's going to be fun. We're all sitting there like, send something great, Send the best thing you have. That's not heavy, so we can ship it easily. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. I'll brief you guys in a minute because we'll play these games tonight. And someone's going to get a whole bunch of entries into this huge prize. As my watch goes click, click. Hey, look. Greg's over there in the Discord server. Welcome to the Discord server, Greg. My watch just said you introduced yourself. Fantastic. He's been watching. Absolutely. Well, Greg, awesome. You're on multiple social medias at once. Fantastic. Okay, so first thing I want to do is, for the longest time, and I know we didn't really talk about it for a while, but we talked about retrofitting refrigerants to R22. It comes up on Skilled Trade Up, and in my technician heyday, I did quite a few retrofits from R22 to R407C. And my retrofit guidelines were a little bit different than what many people thought the proper guidelines were. And here's what I did. And I'm going back to this because it has come up a few times recently, and I feel like we should talk about it again because it does come up periodically. Since R22 costs, $1 zillion, it might come up again. So what I do is I take, and let's go ahead, we'll bring up the chat alongside here too. What I do is I take out the R22 just like you normally would. But instead of removing all of the mineral oil, which is what you typically would do when switching to a 400 series refrigerant like 407C, I don't remove the mineral oil. I add a certain amount of POE oil. So what I would do is, let's say there was a 20-ounce oil charge in a compressor. I might add 5 ounces of POE oil to assist in oil returning. And I have quite a few of these systems out there that I've been running for now. Geez, I don't know. There's one that I need to service. The guy actually called me to service it, so it'll be really interesting because it's been like 5 or 6 years. It's been a long time since I switched this thing out. And I've done MO99, which is 438A. I've done new 22B, or new 22 is 422B, 422D, and there's probably another one, or that might be it. I've done all of those, and it seems like 407C is the best as far as capacity, retaining as much capacity as possible, and I'll show you why I think that's true here in just a moment. So, again, my retrofit guidelines are add some POE, which is a whole lot easier than dumping out the compressor. Now, typically when you're doing something that's a whole lot easier, it's wrong. It's just like a rule of thumb. If you go in there and you're just like, hey, I'm going to skip this step and just do it differently, where it takes me 1/3 as long, and people are like, I don't think that is good. Jerry Lockhart says, you get a punch card when you get 10 or 20, you win something. Now, we're going to be winning a big old prize. Trust me, it's going to be big, huge. It's going to be huge. Like the Trump says, it'll be huge. Yep. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to come back over here. We're going to have to go away from the, unfortunately, the chat side here. We'll bring them back later. And this is a document from Honeywell. And I can actually put this in the chat too. I'm going to copy and paste. There we go. This is the document I'm looking at. You guys can look at it later if you want to. So this is on basically 407C and 422D. And as you see, there's a little table right here. And it says Genetron refrigerant, it's Honeywell, R407C. Now, if you see what kind of refrigerants go into 407C, you can see why I think that the capacity is better, or why I believe the capacity is better. And the justification for that statement is the R32, the A2L refrigerant. The A2L refrigerant that's out there being circulated as a refrigerant of the future, one of the two, R32, R125, and R134A. So if you're familiar with refrigerants, you can see R32 and R125, and that is basically 410A. If it's a 50-50 blend of 32 and 125, that is essentially 410A. But as you can see here, they've added 134A, and the 134A is going to bring that pressure down to an R22 level. Now, it's not perfect, but it's closer. It's closer to R22. There's a few differences. There could be a higher head temperature on 407C, and the suction pressure typically runs a little bit lower. So that's a little bit of a scary thing sometimes. So, and here's what the thing says. It says oil change to POE. Now, we're going to talk about that in a minute because I knew there was a document out there that supported what I did. And I almost believe that there was a few of us doing this back in the day. This is how narcissistic we are. I almost believe that there was a few of us back in the day that were doing this, and so Honeywell actually tested it and put it into their document. So we actually believe, and by we I mean me, that we altered how Honeywell phrased things in some of these documents. Now, that's probably not true, but I like them. Greg Meadows says, if it has mineral oil, why not use 422B? You could definitely use 422B. It was just my belief that the 407C was just a little bit better as far as capacity. So that's why I use 407C. And at the time, 407C was extremely cheap. We're talking about a time when 407C cost well below $100, and 422B would have been a couple $100. So I said, well, we just add a few ounces of POE. It's not that hard. You can actually let the vacuum suck it in there and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to put it in there. And then, bam, we're off and running there. But you could definitely use 422B. And speaking of 422 something other, right below the 407C, you see 422D. It's 125, just like the 407C has 134A, just like the 407C, but there's one difference. Instead of R32, it has R600A. R600A is a hydrocarbon, meaning it's extremely flammable, but there's not that much of this hydrocarbon in 422D, and that hydrocarbon allows for oil return. Even though in the comment section here on this table it says use of POE oil will enhance oil return if required. If required is like a general statement. You'll know it's required when your compressor dies. I guess that's what they're saying. But for 422D, you can see they've used the 600A to move the oil. That's why you don't have to necessarily use POE. That's why it says you don't have to necessarily use POE. The 125 is actually a high GWP refrigerant that's used as a flame suppressant. That's why it's in 410A mixed with the R32, because it suppresses that flammability. Just really interesting here. You go through this stuff, but the next paragraph is my favorite. I'm going to go back to the chat for a second because I believe, let me see here. I believe we had some chat comments. Let's see. I'm trying to find them here. Nathaniel Crum says propane is R290. It is, in fact, R290. That is correct. R290 is propane. It is propane. If you're looking at R600, you're talking about the butane, isobutane stuff. Both of them are A3s, which is highly flammable. So they have that in common. R290 is a pretty good refrigerant. I mean, that's why they're using it in small quantities when they have like this refrigerated stuff. And it's single component, which is really nice. When you look at something, and what I mean is, for those who might not be familiar with this, if you have a 400 series refrigerant, let me go back over here again. You have a 400 series refrigerant, it's going to be multiple refrigerants put together. That means you're going to have a chance of fractionation. There's potentially more issues than if it's a single component refrigerant like R290 or R600A. R600A is used just like R290 in small quantities. Let's see. Let me see if there's any more. Yeah, R600A is in there. In refrigerated appliances will have these hydrocarbons, because hydrocarbons, and I don't know if this is, it's only a few ounces you can use. I won't speculate on the exact amount. I know it's only a few ounces in any system, and that's because of the flammability. Hey, and another good thing is you don't have to recover them. As long as you have a ventilated area to release them, they can just go back in the atmosphere. It's really, really nice. Like Sulky86 says, I don't know of a single tech that owns a Nest thermostat. I don't think techs are allowed to buy Nest thermostats. I don't think techs will do it. There's like a big thing there. Big thing. Nathaniel says, I think propane can't be 16 ounces. Actually, I think it's less than that. I think it's like 5.3 ounces. I might be mistaken, though, because that could have been changed in the last 2 or 3 years, but I think it's single digits. Anyway, you can't use a whole lot of it is the the basic rule there. So let's go back down here and go to my favorite line in this thing. Okay, so if we come back down here, we see choose compressor lubricant. In most instances, the lubricant in use with R22 is a mineral oil or alkybenzene. Polyester lubricants are recommended for use with Genetron 407C by the equipment manufacturers. Well, that's good. Genetron 422D retrofit of a system with short connecting lines typically will not require an oil change or modification. Honeywell recommends using a miscible lubricant approved by the compressor manufacturer. In this case, POE is recommended for R422D. Differences among lubricants make it difficult to assume that they are interchangeable. Check with the compressor manufacturer for the correct viscosity, grade, and brand for the compressor in the system being retrofitted. Nobody does that. If the lubricant is contaminated or an acid test indicates high level of acidity, then a lubricant change is warranted. Okay, here's the best part. Field trials have indicated that adequate oil return can occur in HFC retrofit systems when 15% to 20% of the lubricant operating charge is synthetic oil. Systems with receivers or low side accumulators will require a higher ratio of POE to mineral oil. So what it's saying here, basically, is that if you have a certain percentage of your oil, even though if it's mineral is the lion's share of it, if there's a small piece of that, 15 to 20%, maybe a little bit higher in heat pumps of POE, then you can change to R407C and it will function. And they do it in a way, they say it in a way where it's like, we're not getting behind this totally, but it'll work. It's like a little wink. That's what they're saying. Field trials have indicated. Yeah, our field trials. That's right. They've been watching YouTube videos. That's their field trials. Hey, you're looking at the field trial, guys. Oh, it's fantastic. and it worked great. And I look forward to looking at this system again. Really, really fun. And there's a little bit more information up here. There's something interesting here as well. Let me show you guys this. So I didn't know this. Under the replace the filter dryer section of this, it says when changing to an HFC miscible lubricant, particularly to a more polar lubricant such as polyester, it may be beneficial to add a suction line filter. I have never added a suction line filter to one of these things ever. That's the first time. I should have read this probably. And that's a big duh moment. I should have read this, but I've never read anything that said that before. I just don't read. That's the problem. I don't read at all. So I don't know if you guys have ever done that, adding a suction line filter dryer for that. I never have. But something else, it says, particularly to be, it says, when changing to an HFC miscible lubricant, see, I told you I can't read, particularly to a more polar lubricant. So I don't know what that means. Polar lubricant. What does that mean? So I looked it up. And let's figure that out together. So I looked up polar lubricant, and I went over to this place. It's ZEC or ZEC, I don't know what it's called, lubrication. And it says, what is APM technology? Because I'm like, what is polarized lubricant? I don't know, but I got to figure it out, or these people on this show going to be like, why don't you tell us what this crap means? So it says, ZEC lubrication oil additives use active polar molecule technology, which I assume is their like bullcrap name of just their polar technology or whatever, to electrochemically bond a molecular layer to all metal surfaces that are lubricated by the primary lubricant. The result is a superior anti-friction, extreme pressure, anti-corrosive, and boundary lubrication properties to meet the ever-increasing high demands of today's harsh industrial applications. And I come down here and you see there's this nice picture of two pipes. One of them that looks like it's got Tyrannosaurus teeth because it doesn't have this polar lubrication on it, and another one that says how ZEC lubrication technology works. Due to their ability to create an electrochemical bond with metal surfaces at a molecular level, ZEC lubrication oil additives create a significantly lower coefficient of friction. This occurs because a bonded ZEC lubrication layer protects and prevents surface level microscopic jagged peaks. Now, I think that's probably exaggerated, jagged peaks. And I would wonder how much of the oil actually stays adhered to the piping with this bond. So whatever is going to cause the friction to lower is oil that is lost to the system, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure, but I did enjoy learning what polar lubricant was, because I've never really even thought about that. I didn't know that was a thing. Very interesting. So now you guys know all about this stuff. Now when you say there's a polar lubricant out there, it's polyester is polar lubricant, so it's adhering to the sides. Does that mean that it adheres to everything in the pipe? Wouldn't that make it better? As far as friction? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This could be snake oil. What do you think? Is it snake oil or is it good stuff? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but that's all I got for you on this. I think that's about it for talking about R407C retrofitting, because I think I ate up like 15, 20 minutes talking about that. So we have other stuff we have to do tonight. We're going to play a game. That's right. We're going to have some fun, guys. If you want to play a game, the first thing we're going to do is I'll take a little break right here. And then when I come back, we're going to play Name That YouTuber. Hey, it's pretty easy. All it is I'm going to play clips for whoever's on the screen with me, just like Skilled Trade Up. You come on the screen with me, I play clips, you tell me who it is, you win. Every question you get right, you get more entries into this huge drawing that we're going to have at the end of July. And it's going to be sweet. And I'll go ahead and tell you, okay? We're going to give away, this is like the little prize, okay? A Ryobi non-contact infrared thermometer. That's going to be one of the prizes. And you're going to win everything. Whoever wins this wins it all. So at the end of July, we'll do that. This is my Yellow Jacket digital torque wrench. You will win that as well. 64648. So when I use to put the mini split in here, I'm going to give that away too. And then we're going to throw more prizes on top of that. And it's going to be awesome. And whoever wins that, you're going to be happy camper because there's more coming. It'll be a lot of fun. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to put a link in the chat. If you want to play the game to start winning some of these entries, then hit the link and come on with me and play. Only thing is, if you play this game, you're not playing skill trade up tonight. You got to play one or the other. And this one, I don't know. This one will probably be better for newer techs who watch a lot of YouTube. And skill trade up's probably better for veteran techs who maybe don't watch as much YouTube. So roll the dice there, okay? That's what that was. That was dice rolling, by the way. Don't be sickos or anything. So I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back, guys. And we will play ourselves a little game. Hey, who's that? Where's my camera at? Oh, there it is. All right. So, of course, as we're playing a new game, have a little bit of fun. Make a new game jingle. Poor guys who are in here with me won't be able to see it, but the people watching at home will be able to. So here's our official jingle for this new game. And now for a special game we like to call Name That YouTuber.
No!
That's just a lot of fun right there. I'm sorry you guys missed that. All right, so we have two people waiting to play. I have several of these YouTubers all lined up, so we can probably get to both of you. So we'll just do it in order. There's 5 possible you can get right. That's it. That's all you got to do is get these 5 YouTubers right. As many as you get right, you will get entries into this mega giveaway. Here's the amount of entries. You get 1 right, you get 1. Because 1 sucks. You got to get more than 1, guys. Come on. 2 is 2, 3 is 4, 4 is 7, and all 5 is 10. So all 5, I'm pretty sure you're going to win all these tools. That's what I'm going to go with right there. So let's see here. I see Gerald's fan swinging. Gerald, are you even there? Gerald went to the restroom or something. I can see. Okay, he like tripped over the coffee table making it back there. So don't you pick anybody else. All right, so I won't do that to you. Hello, Gerald.
How you doing?
Do you watch a lot of YouTube?
Sometimes, yeah.
Maybe you should have played Skill Trade Up instead.
I know, yeah.
Maybe you acted impulsively. We're going to find out, okay? We're going to see, all right? So, who's your favorite YouTuber besides me, okay? Well, don't be, I don't want to put you in a bad position there, Gerald.
I don't know. I don't really have too many favorites. A lot of the HVAC guys, maybe. Other than ones my kid knows, like PewDiePie and different ones.
PewDiePie. PewDiePie will not be in this game. This guy's asking down there, we won't have Mr. Beast. No PewDiePie. Although I really like Mr. Beast. I'm 42 years old, and I think his videos are great. I watch him. I think he's great. He built an entire castle. That's just awesome. Okay. So if you didn't see that yet, check that out. So we're going to get right after this. I'm going to go ahead and put up, what this is going to be a 5-second clip. And you're going to have to tell me who this is. And you get to do all 5 of them. Don't be getting 0 of them, Gerald, okay? You'd be like, I should have played Skill Trade Up, man. So here you go. And I'm going to leave the chat on, but chat people don't help, okay? If you don't help, then I'll leave it on. So here's the very first one. Tell me who this is.
So the whole recovery process is going to be done faster.
Who's that? Was that not enough time?
Not enough time.
It needed like a whole video. Any guesses? Turd Ferguson.
I've seen this guy before, but I'm not sure of his channel or his name.
Just guess something then.
It wasn't Mikey Pipes.
You're correct. It's not Mikey Pipes.
I
Okay.
know, for sure.
So we had to go on to the next one. I have great news for you though. Here's the next one.
What? Okay. What's the keys where? Oh.
Who's that?
Definitely Mikey Pipes.
That's definitely Mikey Pipes. Okay, you got one. That's good. When you said that, I was like, all right, we're getting one tonight, Gerald.
Funny.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get you next one. Here is your next one. How long you been watching YouTube?
Ooh, probably about 9 years.
All right, you probably know this guy then, I would think. All right, check this out.
How to do a service call, or how I do them. We are on a vacant house.
He was just on the other night.
He was.
Okay.
Oh man, you
Name
forgot him. Oh no.
You gotta
Do you know?
his name too. No.
His channel name. You gotta know his channel name.
Oh. I know he's TNN Services. Hold on.
Well, that's it. That's his channel name.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
just
two. That's
a lot
two.
of those, I'll think about it. I'll remember it like 20 minutes from now. You know.
No, you
When you're
got
not
2 out
thinking
of 3.
You remember it.
Well, you got 2 out of 3. You're doing great. Okay, you're doing fantastic. Here's your fourth one. Check this out.
And it's got to get kept cool, so they have a custom refrigeration slash.
He retired or something. He did a commercial for refrigerant, I think.
Yes, that is
can't remember
exactly right.
Can't remember his name. He does a lot of teaching and some other stuff now.
That's true. We got everything about him except for his name.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well that was Andrew Greaves. You could have said that, or you could have said AK HVAC. His channel name's actually been both of those before. Okay, so you got 2 out of 4. You get one more. All right, let's get one more. Okay, here's one more. You got this, man. You got it.
Out of a truck instead of a van, and typically it's always because I love driving a truck, so I kind of just.
He's super famous.
Yeah, he just got a new van. He just got a white. I saw a show 2 nights ago. He got a white Nissan 2500, the big one that he could walk in.
What is his name though?
Oh, his name. Shoot.
New van guy. We can't accept that.
Yeah, is HVAC guy.
Well, I'm sorry. It's not HVAC guy. But you got 2. Hey, you got 2. That means you got 2 entries. You're probably going to win this stuff. Watch it. You get 2 entries for the whole month, and you'll win like $1,000 worth of tools or something like that. It could happen. Gerald, are you still with me?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to let you go now because you got 2 out of 5. So whenever you come back and win all these tools, remember to thank me, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, Gerald, take it easy. All right, and all right. Dustin, what's happening?
What's up?
Now, did you know all those or what?
I'm like Gerald. I know him, but the name kind of slips me when I'm sitting here.
Yeah, it's tough when you have to think of the exact name. You're right, but I'm going to start with the easy one, okay? So check this guy out and tell me what the name of his channel is.
So why does a fuse blow? Why does it?
What do you say?
Oh, I don't think I've seen him.
Really? You're the only guy here who hasn't seen that guy.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah,
Now you can go watch him.
Yeah, I need to.
So do you have any guesses?
No, there's only a couple HVAC YouTubes I really watch. Like, well, you for one.
Hey,
And-
might as well do it right. Yeah.
And anti DIY HVAC.
Anti-DIY. I should have put him on this list. He's not on this list tonight, but he'll be on the list in the future, I'm sure. He's a good one too.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
He's just funny too. He's a good tech and he's funny.
Yeah.
So we got to get you another one, man. Okay, that's the first one. You didn't get that one. Check out the second one here. Guy goes back several years. I've interviewed this guy a few times. See if you recognize him.
Available, paying over $50,000 a year. Alaska has the lowest percentage.
I see just like the tumbleweeds going by. It's like, no, next.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I would do better at this than I am.
Okay, well, let me try. That's 2 down. Hey, if you get all of them wrong, you just come back next show and win something else. So that's how the show works. You will win. All you have to do is be patient. So here's another guy. This is your 3rd one here. See if you know this guy.
Get this thing adjusted, and we'll go from there.
Is that
Come on.
Is that well? I think his channel's just HVACR.
No, that's not him. That's not him. That's actually his name is Huseman. That's Huseman HVAC.
Okay.
Right there. All right, you got 2 more. Okay.
I thought that was him.
It was close. I think maybe that you're thinking of Quality HVACR. I'm not sure. HVACR Videos could be one of those guys you're thinking of. But that's Chris.
Yeah.
We'll probably use him in the future too. So here's one more. One of the last 2.
Office, the outdoor unit. That's about 7 degrees a day.
It's like next. All right, we got one more. Okay, one more. You got to get this guy. Okay. You got to get this HVAC guy. Okay, this HVAC guy you got to get.
A call I went on this morning that I ended up just walking.
So, what is the name of that HVAC guy?
Oh,
HVAC guy.
You did this too.
HVAC guy.
I just watched him. He always got the camo Johnstone hat on too.
Just think. What is the name of this HVAC guy?
It's HVAC guy, isn't it?
That is correct.
I just couldn't remember because I remember I remember his intro. It's like coming to a town near you.
yeah, that's a funny one. You know, when you look at these channels, it's like sometimes it's like I've watched this thing like 20 times. I have no idea what it's called. It's just so funny.
You don't remember like you showed me the people's faces and I'm like, yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen them. Yep. And then I'm like, when you go back and you're like, oh crap, no.
But you know what all the videos are about? That's the crazy thing. You'll be sitting there, it's like, oh yeah, that's the guy who changed that motor on the last video, and his name is, I have no idea.
Well, it's like somebody asked me about, a unit or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, just look at that. I'm like, you remember that crap, but you can't remember nothing else.
Oh, that's right. No, you're exactly right. I was the same way. I couldn't remember the homeowners' names of the houses I went to, but I would know everything about the system. Like, oh yeah, that was a Linux in 1986. It was like, and I'd rattle off the HP something. So what was the people's name? I have no idea.
Well, it's like called Supply House the other day, and I'm sitting there rattling off part numbers, and guys are looking at me like, how'd you remember that? And I'm like, I just did.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't help where our savant abilities are at. We can remember the part number on like a train coil, but we can't remember the house where we're going, like the address or the people.
Exactly.
It's just funny. Yeah. All right. Well, you got one. So you got one entry right there. So watch it. It's going to be a 1 entry person that wins this stuff. And then all the people that like won 20 entries are going to be super pissed. I mean, that's life. Life's not fair.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. All right, Dustin, man. Well, good luck. We're going to announce that thing at the end of July because I'm going to accrue a bunch of tools. And you can play every week. You just can't play every single game that we play one night. So if you play one night, wait till the following week to play again. Okay?
All right. This was good, man. This is I'm a new HVAC tech, so.
Awesome. Hey, how long have you been doing it?
I have been in it a year, and I was 8 years in plumbing.
Oh, why'd you switch over?
I got tired.
Because of poop and stuff?
Of sewage. I mean, I got tired of it. I was done.
It seems like an easy question, but there's a lot of plumbers that spend their whole life plumbing. So you must have had one too many toilet blowouts or something. I don't know.
I was just done with it, and I have a more mechanical mind for stuff.
So what do you want to do? What are you doing presently in HVAC?
I actually work for an airport as an HVAC, commercial HVAC tech.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So do you service, and we'll switch to interview mode. Do you service like the actual HVAC systems at the airport? Do you do something with the actual planes themselves? What do you do?
No, we don't touch the planes, but we have units underneath the bridges that are like PCAirs.
Oh, interesting.
Preconditioned air systems, and they're usually running like a 40-ton compressor, 2 of them.
Oh man, you ought to go over and be on our Discord. Are you on the Discord already?
Yes, I just joined.
Okay, I thought I might have. Okay, put some pictures of that stuff up there because that's pretty cool. And if you already have, I'm sorry I missed them, but yeah, that'd be kind of a cool thing to look at. So it's kind of a different.
It's a neat job. It's fun.
Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, hopefully stick around, win some stuff with us. Hopefully you learn something every now and then. But teach us too. Bring some of your information back and put it on the Discord, and we'll all learn from you too.
All right, man.
All right, Dustin. Appreciate it, man. And I'll catch you next time.
All right. Bye.
Later. All right. So, guys out there, I have a little break we're going to take here. Then we'll come back with the skill trade up. So if you want to play a skill trade up, I'll put another link in the chat, and we'll play some skill trade up and wrap this thing up for tonight. We're not always going to play both games, but I figured we have some fun tonight and play both games. It'll be a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that break like I was saying, like I threatened to take just now. I'm taking another break, like a union thing. I'm just kidding. Take it easy. It's all right. All right, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Guys, you can go ahead and come in here. This break will be about 3 minutes long, so you have a little bit of time here. And I will catch you guys whenever I come back. Let me make sure I got everything lined up here. Okay, so I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. Today on RTM, we're going to be discussing a passage from Matthew chapter 6 from the New Testament of the Bible. And I'm going to get right into it here and show you guys how this is an insightful passage for us as men or women, and of course as technicians as well. The passage reads, and it actually has to do with adultery, which is going to be kind of interesting, but the teaching here applies to a lot of things. You have heard the commandment that says, you must not commit adultery. But I say, anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And even if your hand, even your stronger hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. Now, is Jesus saying that we're going to be a bunch of blind paraplegics in heaven? No, that's not what he's talking about. What he's talking about is avoiding the influences that take you in a negative, sinful direction. A lot of us have those. One thing I try to avoid, and it applies to everything in my life, is alcohol. Alcohol was an issue for me. I drank way too much alcohol back in the day when I was a younger person, so I stay away from it altogether. I don't know how many times I've heard someone say they couldn't get a job because they had a DWI, an HVAC job. A lot of guys have heard this. I'm willing to bet that a lot of you have heard that either from experiences in your own life or overheard it at your businesses with your colleagues. There are negative things out there that you have to separate yourself from. You still have to be an example of how to do things correctly, in a godly way, in a way that is, not to be sarcastic, but best practices. Not the best practices we're making fun of, but you guys know what I mean. You have to do things the right way so people can see you doing things the right way. It's one thing to be out there shouting at people to do it this way, do it that way, whatever. But really, the most subtle and effective way that I can think of to influence people is to do so quietly. Show them the right way. They'll see that what you have done works. You don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to be loud. You just have to continue to do things the correct way and hope that people will see it. That takes a lot of faith. That takes a lot of patience. Because a lot of times people just want to bark out orders, and sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to give orders. You're a boss out there. But sometimes the best thing to do is just to demonstrate. Demonstrate humility and demonstrate the right way to do things. Stay away from the bad influences, the things that you know are going to lead you down the wrong path. Every day I have to battle against some kind of influence in my life, whether it be the internet itself, whether it be just my anger. I'm very susceptible to having my temper flare up at a single moment and having it affect multiple people over multiple hours. I have to rein myself in. I have to know and recognize that and avoid those moments which I'm just built not to handle. And unfortunately, a lot of us have situations that we need to steer clear of for the betterment of ourselves and for the betterment of everybody around us. And that's what this is talking about. Avoid those things that are going to lead you to sin. Avoid the things that are going to lead you to do things the wrong way, influence people in a negative way. As that time goes by and you get more and more practice at it, before you know it, it'll be a natural occurrence. It's a constant battle, but you're going to win them one battle at a time. That is RTM. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's get back to the show. All righty. So we have someone primed and ready. Guess who it is, everybody? Guess who made it in there first? I guess he works for Spectrum. It's Will.
No, I have TCT. Tri-County Telephone. Tri-County Telephone.
Well, whatever you have works well. So tonight, I don't know if you caught what we're doing now is we're actually playing for chances to win a super prize, so to speak. And I'll kind of run through it real quick just in case anybody missed it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build up toward a really big prize. I'm going to let it build up for like a monthly thing. But because it's the end of the month now, we're going to let it build up to the end of July. So we already have the little temperature gun, and we already have a digital torque wrench, the yellow jacket. Let me bring it back over here. Those are the two prizes we're going to start with, and I'm going to add to them throughout the month. So we're going to have like a huge grand prize by the time the winner is announced. So this is where Skill Trade Up comes in. So Skill Trade Up is your chance to win the most possible chances to win this thing, because Skill Trade Up is different than the other game, because if you lose Skill Trade Up, you lose all your entries, just like you lose normally. If you keep pushing and you don't make it, you lose your stuff. But you can walk away with either 2 entries if you get 1 right, 4 entries if you get 2 right, because we're only going to go to 5 this time, try to get more people in here if they want to. There's only 1 tonight, because Gerald's in here, although he can't play because he already played. Poor Gerald. I hope you realize that. Otherwise, I just broke his heart. If you get 3 right, there's 6 entries, 4 right, 10. And if you get all 5 of these questions right, you get 15 entries. So it's going to be pretty fun. So same objective, get all the questions right. That's what you got to do. So are you ready to do just that?
Track record lately.
According to your track record, get the first 2 and just leave. We had somebody quit last time. They actually got $70 gift card and stopped. Nathaniel did. And then I promptly emailed his gift card to the wrong email address. So that's what happens when you win. I screw that up. So you don't want that to happen anyway. But you're familiar with the game.
Yeah, they were talking about these plumbing jobs, sewage jobs smelling. I always said they smell like money to me, but that's why I smoke good cigars. I can afford them, and they cover up the smell.
That's exactly right. You got to smoke some good cigars. Just like the oil furnace technicians, they have to smoke the good cigars, although they might ignite themselves. But it's the worst smelling thing ever. Sewage and oil is like a close race for awful smelling stuff. So the first question is a gimme question, just like you're used to. And we're going to just go ahead and get after it. You get this question, you got 2 entries to win the super prize, so I hope you get the first question. You still have, I can't give you all 3 lifelines, though. We'll do a 50-50. You can use a 50-50 if you need to. Otherwise, that's where we'll leave it for tonight. So here we go. Here's our first question. What happens to refrigerant in a condenser coil? And nobody help anybody, not with this question, just the other questions. A, it condenses. B, it learns a new language. C, it becomes lava. D, it gets sick and tired.
Well, if you touch it, it might feel like lava, but that's not what it does. It condenses.
You know what? I think you're absolutely right. Let's check and see if you're right using our new graphic. This will be great. It definitely appears you're right based on that. So you got your 2 entries. Are you going to just stay here and just stop and keep your 2 entries? Or you want to keep going?
Let's go 1 more at least.
Let's just go 1 more. We'll test the water. We'll go 1 more. All right.
Yeah.
So this is an easy question. So no problem. Your next 2 are easy. Then you'll have a medium and then have a hard. So now you know how to prepare for the future here. So here's your easy question. You get 4 entries for this one. A compressor's lock rotor amperage will be A, greater than its running amps. B, less than its running amps. C, the same as all other compressors rated at that voltage. D, within 5 amps of its running amps.
A, greater than its running amps.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't know about that. Could it be right? I don't know. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's greater than the running amps. So now you got 4 entries. Got 1 more easy question now.
Hey, my brain must be working tonight for a change.
Yep, firing on all cylinders tonight. Might as well push it, right?
Really? Well.
All right, so here's another easy question. With this one, if you get this one right, then you could have 6 entries, and that's quite a few entries to win this thing. So here's your second and final easy question. ACA is an organization for HVAC A, contractors, B, salesmen, C, installers, or D, service techs. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that one is A, contractors. But I'm
Are you
not
thinking?
100
You're not 100%?
Not 100%, but I'm about 98%.
Is that good enough to say final answer?
Good enough.
Well, now this little bit of suspense as we count this off. Is it A, contractors? Oh, yeah. One of those C's stand for contractors, so you're right. Now you're up to 6. But if you push to this medium question, nope, that's the wrong one. Man, almost perfect tonight. You could have 10. Do you want to try for 10?
Let's try.
All righty then. All right. So we're going to go to a medium level question. This has something to do with, well, you'll see here in just a second. Check it out.
Well, heck, this ought to fit. I'm only a medium level tech, probably.
This is perfectly suited for you then.
Yeah.
Here you go. For 10 entries, a medium level question, you still have your lifeline. While most manufacturers refer to their variable speed mini split style units as VRF, this manufacturer refers to it as VRV. A, Mitsubishi. B, Gree. C, Daikin or Dakin, whichever one you want to call it. Or D, Samsung.
Let's do the 50-50.
Okay, it's going to be either C, Daikin or Dakin, or D, Samsung. For 10 entries, what do you think?
I think it's C, Daikin.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think that's correct. If I remember correctly, I don't see too many Daikin or Samsungs up here, so it's kind of one of those things where I'm taking a good educated guess from what I can remember.
So you said final answer. So that is your final answer, C, Daikin, but is it the right answer? All right, so that's 4 questions. That's 10 entries. Lifeline's gone, and all we have left is a hard question. This is where you have to think about it a little bit.
Let's go ahead and stay right where I'm at with my track record. I'm sure I'd blow it.
See, that's the wisdom that's been missing. See, you're right on top of it tonight. That's 10 entries. That's a really good night. That's a great job. And just for fun, we're going to show the hard question and see what you think of it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Just so if you know it, you can be like, dang it, I guess is the reason why we do this. So here it is. Here's the hard question. Anyone can weigh in on this. These tall chimney-like structures that protruded from the tops of homes in ancient Africa, that's right, harnessed the cooling power of air movement to lower indoor temperature up to 10 degrees. It's either windmills, aqueducts, wind towers, or swamp coolers. Who knows that one? This is like the hardest hard question that we have here. So after this one's done, they won't be nearly this hard. This one I came up with a long time ago. It's been sitting here. What do you think it is?
And you honestly expect me to answer that one?
Well, you don't have to. You can answer it for fun now because the game is over. You won your 10, so this is just for fun. What do you think it is?
Well, the chimneys, I know that they suck the cold. Heat rises and cold falls, so they suck all the heat out of it. I'm thinking it would be a wind tower.
So here's the thing. A lot of people in the chat also think it's a wind tower, and it is a wind tower. So theoretically, if you would have guessed that, you would have actually got all of those right. But it's wise because if you would have been in the situation with all the tension, you would have been second guessing it. But now there's nothing to lose. So,
yep.
But a lot of people, they did know the answer to that, or they guessed, educated guess. So that was really, really good. So you have I think 10 entries. 10 entries is a lot. So whenever it comes around, and I'll be building this thing up so you won't miss the date whenever I make the announcement. And we're going to have just a ton of stuff to give away. So I wish you luck with it. And I hope you win. But then again, I hope everybody wins. So how can that work? But
I really appreciate it.
No problem. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks you for continuing to watch and supporting the show. I really appreciate that. So,
well, you're one of my guys that I really like and trust on here. That's why I keep coming back.
Well, I appreciate that. I try to shoot it straight, and which takes me in between success and trouble constantly. So.
Yeah, and those people that are condemning you for taking and saying anything about the Bible and Jesus, all I'll say is we need to pray for them because they're going to need all the help they can get.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And I think we'll just try to be a good example, like I was talking about earlier. And that's tough for me. Sometimes I just, I'm like, why do people think this? Why are people trying to hurt what I'm doing? But then I think about it. I says, all this stuff goes away. This all fades away, and it's not worth anything in the grand scheme of things. So that's what I try to think about anyway, and that helps me.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and Zach, I did have one thing I was going to tell you. It's been a month since I lost my wife.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. And the lady that works at the mortuary, her husband's the one who was actually handling everything. She did a little special thing for me since she knew that Dee went with me and worked with me all the time. She's getting me a little cross filled with some of her ashes, so I always have a little bit of her with me when I'm out there doing the work.
Well, that's really, really nice. That's really nice, and I'm glad that I know time moves on and the wound kind of eases but never heals. So, and I know what that means. I like I said, telling people I lost my sister last year unexpectedly, and it's something that it's hard to look back on. You get caught in a moment; it gets real difficult in a moment, but you do move on a little bit. I don't know. Knowing where we're going makes it a lot easier to deal with. I know that. So,
amen to that.
Yeah, I tell you what. So, all right, Will, I appreciate you playing, man. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and I'm going to let you go. But good luck in the contest, and I'm sure you can play again next week. So keep on getting more entries, okay?
All right, sounds like a plan. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, Will.
You too.
Good old Will right there. I tell you what, the game is fun, and it's not just about HVAC, it's about the people. And that's really the focus of mine, because I know there's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of videos out there that talk HVAC, but I'm always interested. I like learning about stuff. I like the science of it, but the people, that's the part that is the most important, because the people have the experiences that are different. How many times can you learn about A, B, or C? It's the exact same thing. How to test a capacitor, how to do it while it's running, refrigerant superheat, refrigerant subcooling, saturated vapor, all things that you can learn over and over again. 20 different people can tell you the same thing, but each one of those people are different. So that's why I like the show. That's why I like to involve everybody in the show, because that's what's special about the trade. It's the people in the trade. It's not just the stuff we do. It's who we are. So I think that's really, really awesome that we get to know people's stories. We get to share information like that. We have a lot of fun. Guys, thank you for watching the show tonight. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun. I always look forward to it. For a long time, I didn't do live. I just had to get out of the whole live thing for a while and kind of rethink my priorities. And once I had done it, I mean, I've never enjoyed it more than I do now. I just want you guys to know that. I look forward to it so much. So every time you watch, every time you chat, every time you decide to come on and play, it's really exciting for me. So I just want to tell you guys that. Oh man, that was mushy. Let's get past that. Yeah, but thank you everybody. And so what I'm going to do is one last thing. I have Nightbot. For those of you who remember Nightbot, we can do little selective like giveaway style things. I'm going to pick one person from the chat to give an extra entry for this huge giveaway that we're going to have. So we have everyone that comes on the show, but I want guys who are on the chat who can't necessarily come on and play or can't interact that way to still have a chance. So Nightbot, what I do with that is I basically, I can show you the screen, I think. Let me go back to my main camera and I'll show you the other desktop screen. And this is what my Nightbot screen looks like. It shows the YouTube chat. It has, let me get my download pictures out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a giveaway. So all you have to do is chat. So you just say something in the chat, and then you're able to win this particular giveaway, which is just an extra chance to win the big prize. So I'll give you a few seconds to chat because I know we have a lag of about 8 seconds. And every time Nathaniel writes weird words, it asks me to approve his statement. I just want you to know that, Nathaniel. It's just a bunch of random words, and I have to approve it. That's right, something. This is pretty much how it went before. When I'd ask people, said, just write something in the chat. Everyone would write something in the chat, literally. It's funny. Times never change, guys. There's different guys doing the exact same thing the other guys did. All right, so I'm going to give a count off like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we will give it FCJ, our new channel member. Congratulations. You get an extra entry into... Fantastic. Maybe you'll win yourself a huge prize. We'll do this again. We'll do it once every show. And I know everybody's like, I lost. But you didn't lose. Because we all had fun. Okay? Or whatever you need to tell yourself to get past that. So congratulations, FCJ. Congratulations to Will, all the guys that came in and played tonight. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. I am going to mosey on out of here and go hang out with my son, my wife, and my other son's sick, so he's probably laying in the back. And my daughter is probably watching her phone. I'm sure she is. Positive. Never been sure of anything so much in my life. I'm going to get out of here, guys. HVAC Shop Talk, the podcast. Check it out. Rate it on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Give the video a like, if you will. Subscribe. All that stuff. Subscribe, like, comment on the video. The more videos that you comment on, the better it is for me. Basically, YouTube, I guess, takes that as, hey, this guy's interesting. So... even if you have to fake it, comment. Know what I'm saying? All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys on the next one, which will be Sunday night.